Let's have a look at what internet can offer to English language teachers. In other words, how English language teachers, how we as language teachers can get better help from internet for language teaching. So before I discuss the contents of this module, I would just like you to take a little pause and think. Of course, so far we have covered that internet offers a rich resource of materials in the form of ready-made lessons for language teachers, and we've got a number of articles and tons of materials out there which are ready to be used by English language teachers, right? So what sort of material would be suitable for your EFL learners? It's important you are working with. So just take a little pause and think what sort of material you think can be important or useful for your own learners, right? Um, of course, so far we have looked at the role of the web for language learners, but what about the English language teachers? Primarily, it offers rich resources, in the form of, you know, lessons or in the form of, some articles in the form of recent research where you could Google out TESOL Quarterly or Applied Linguistics Journal, where you could find out some key debates going on in the domain of English language teaching, for example, task-based language teaching or communicative language teaching. So it offers rich resources for ESL instruction, right? But um let's suppose that you have been given the task of using a course book in a conventional um, context, like in the context of Pakistani government schools. But as language teachers, you could go beyond this one, and you could find out some helpful materials online, and you could add to your, for example, if you want to teach comparison and contrast, and that's already been set in the lesson is there in the textbook, but you could get some news items online and ask the students to compare those news items and contrast them. So this is how there are a variety of ways to integrate internet into language teaching, right? And well, you might be wondering how come internet can offer for a resource for English language teachers. Well, personally, I believe that in the context of recent development in the area of social media like Facebook, Twitter, and some more social media apps. Well, internet offers a desirable tool for communication, and this is the language which is commonly used by the students. Although we need to be careful about, teaching English for specific purposes or for academic purposes, but for conversational purposes, I think social media could be used for enhancing a students' proficiency skills in any of the four areas, right? So um, we can also think of considering the TESOL courseware, like I said in the beginning, how TESOL Quarterly or Applied Linguistics or Oxford journals, they offer some, even the BBC, British Council, they offer a rich variety of materials, right? Um, and we could also, take our students into the lab and ask them to, engineer them into a writing exercise and ask them to exchange their writings via emails to each other. And in this whole process, the teacher could oversee the students and look at the progress, right? So we've got plenty of, uh, things to be used for as used by ESL teachers. For example, grammar books. We've got dictionaries, encyclopedias, and we've got news articles and essays. So personally, like if you ask me, as an ESL teacher. Like my, you know, if you look at my approach nowadays, I'm more like an internet oriented person than if I compare my past with the present. In the past, I used to have many books, but now I have, a number of easily downloadable books, and where I could go to Google Books and purchase them, right? So, and in this whole process, in this whole scenario, we need to pay attention to the testing and assessment criteria while making the use of internet. And we, as language teachers, need to be on our toes always, just to devise some effective testing strategies, not just to, and also give some assessment feedback to our students, which is useful and which they could utilize even outside the classroom. And there are a number of ways, like using videos in the classroom, and we can also, train our students to do some comprehension and then comprehension exercises. So there are a number of things which the internet can offer to ESL teachers, but it's my point here is it depends upon the teacher how to select, how to grade, and how to sequence the whole exercises for teaching English language.